Today's video is a sewing catch-up as I ease back into the things. I am going to share with you what I made over the holidays, what I didn't make that I wanted to make and why, what my next sewing plans are for the remainder of this month and also talk about something new I added into my creative routine, which is crochet. Hello friends, happy new year to you and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Talisha and this channel is mostly about sewing, crafting, and then I may sprinkle in something else every now and then. I am so happy to be back to uploading long form content. If you have been here for a while, then you will know that I have been taking off the entire month of December for the past few years, and that did happen again this year. It's something that I intentionally did unintentionally but now it's intentional, like completely, because I work full-time outside the home, have been, and I like to make things for the holidays, whether it be sewing projects, crafting projects, or just special cooking or baking that I like to do around the holiday that takes more than normal time. And so stepping away from the deadlines and expectations and the things like sewing allows me to be able to enjoy those holiday festivities and things like that. So not only did I pause uploading long form content, but I was also off from work for the last 2 full weeks of December and into the new year, and I went back on January 5th. That time was honestly such a gift. It gave me a chance to continue to work on things that I wanted to work on and just do anything creatively, as I mentioned earlier. And so now that I'm back in the swing of working and all the things, it's time to jump back in the crafting world the way I normally do. And so yes, happy to be back. So with that being said, today's video is a sewing catch-up as I ease back into the things. I am going to share with you what I made over the holidays, what I didn't make that I wanted to make and why, what my next sewing plans are for the remainder of this month and also talk about something new I added into my creative routine, which is crochet. If you have been watching my shorts, my YouTube shorts, you probably know about this already, but if you don't, you will find out today. So yeah, so just keep on watching towards the end. That'll be towards the end if you are interested. So yeah, we may be here for just a little bit of time, so go ahead and grab something cozy, settle in, and let's catch up. All right, so let's go ahead and start with what I made over the holiday season, and it looked a little different than normal. Okay, instead of me primarily working on garments for myself or making like special holiday dresses or outfits and things like that, I focused mostly on handmade gifts. Okay, to me, in my opinion, there's something really special about making something handmade for a person. I feel that it's personal, thoughtful, and I made gifts for people that feel the same way, in my opinion. So some of the things that I made included book sleeves, Bible sleeves, laptop sleeves. I worked on a Vogue dress with my mother to give to my aunt, who's her sister. So that was fun working on that together with her. And I made like pen holder bookmarks, bowl cozies, fabric coasters, credit card pouches, wristlets. Okay, so as you can see, the collection has been made. This is a 5-piece collection, and I made this bowl cozy right here. This is by Simplicity 3155, and I made view F, which is the larger view. I self-drafted a book sleeve. I wanted it to be about 1 inch wider, but I somehow messed that up, but it still works. And I use the elastic and button closure in order to close it, and I did put batting with the main fabric pieces. And then this here is a pen holder bookmark. As you can see, I have my fold over elastic, and then I have the pocket for the pins. And then I made this pouch, and I got this off of Aloha something patterns. I'll link it below. But this here, she is into drinking tea, so I put this in here, and then she can put her tea in there, and I use cam snaps to close that. And then, as you can see here, I made some coasters. Okay, so this is for those hot beverages and cold beverages. I also made like fruit gift baskets for the children's teachers and principals, and a couple of blankets. I'll show you the blankets towards the end. You know, some other things, scarves, you know, all the things that you would think of that were good for gifts. So if I were sitting making clothes for myself, those are things that I would not have had an opportunity to just dive in and do. The other thing that I liked about making these things is that these were things that I could finish in a shorter period of time, and because of that I was able to make a lot. So now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Although I wanted to set aside time to make things for the holiday and, you know, just, you know, release my free time to do that, I would have still sprinkled in a thing or two, like a small little 3, 4, 5 pattern piece makes, but I did not. And I didn't sew any clothes for myself because I have been in a season of weight loss, and I made the decision to pause sewing garments for myself because I went down from a size 22 in the sewing patterns to a size 16, and I haven't been that since I started sewing, which was like 7 years ago. And it made a huge difference in, like, you know, the things I can wear now. Like most of the things I can't, I mean, it's just they're way too baggy. And so I didn't want to waste time, money, my good fabric, emotional energy, you know, into pieces only for them to not fit the way I hoped a few months later. Now for me it felt better like just to wait, because I didn't know when I was going to be like done with that journey, you know. So I gave myself grace and time to just focus on other types of making until the time was right. And I am at the point where I want to go ahead and pick up garment sewing again, and I, you know, feel that if I lost any more weight, it would be just a little noticeable, but not very noticeable, and I would be able to adjust these garments well, because I'm very close to my goal. So with that being said, let's talk about my next sewing plans. So now that I'm ready to sew garments for myself again, you know, the plans that I have for the remainder of this month is to focus on sewing up a dress. You know, I love a dress. I'm a dress girly. And so I plan to sew, it's a Vogue pattern, and I have it over here, and this is Vogue 1952, and I'll also put it in the screen. The view that I want to make is view A, which is this model right here. And I think, like, with my new body, I think that would be super sharp. So I have been eyeballing this pattern for a while, and like I said, I think the time is right. This is also a pattern that I feel like if I happen to lose a little bit more weight, I can easily adjust it. I already have my fabric pre-washed and ready to go, and I want to make this out of this techno crepe that I purchased when I was at the sorority sewing retreat. So this is it right here. I absolutely love it. It honestly kind of gives me the feel of like a what is this called? I don't know, like a pontinet or something like that, or maybe not a pontinet. Liverpool. It's giving me Liverpool vibes, but just a little bit softer. So that is the plan. The Vogue pattern with this fabric right here. Love it. And I have a lot of this fabric, so I may even be able to make like a tank after I make this dress, but we will see. I also want to make a pair of straight black pants because I don't have any. Honestly, I haven't had any in years. I mean, I mostly wear dresses and skirts, and so I've always had like black skirts and things like that, which is why I didn't really find it to be you know, difficult to not have. But I do want a pair of black slacks, and so I have this black Liverpool knit right here. and there's not a lot here. I kind of feel like maybe I cut on it, so I might have to get some more, even though I don't want to buy another cut of fabric. But I mean, if you need a color, you just need a color, right? And to be honest, I would have rather have made it like in woven fabric, but I don't have any woven black fabric, and you know, I already have this right here, and if I have to add to it, it won't be much. So yeah, so I just let me show you the pattern that I'm going to make with those pants. And that is this pattern right here. This is Butterick 6966. Now I could have made like elastic waist pants, but I don't want to. I don't want it to be like ruffly and crinkly in the front. I want it to look seamless like on this pattern. So this is Butterick 6966, and I'm going to put the line art inside of the screen here, but this is the reason why I want to make these pants. It's because there's like a dart in the front, in the middle of each pant, and then in the back there's 2 darts. So you don't use any zippers or anything like this, but you get a very nice, clean, professional looking pant. There's 2 different views of this. There's one that's straight leg, which is the view that is on the burgundy pants, and then there's this view here on the right, which is the C, and these are wide leg. I do not want to make the wide leg. I just want to make these right here. And so yeah, that's going to be nice. And I also like this top here. Yeah, but maybe that'll be for next month or something like that. So yeah, this has always been a pattern that I've wanted to make for a while, and now that I need those pants, that's the perfect opportunity. So with this pattern, it does call for moderate stretch knits such as cotton knit, interlock jersey, rayon knits. So it is designed for a knit pattern. Now for this Vogue pattern, it also calls for moderate stretch knits, matte jersey, silk jersey, and things like that. And so I'm just loving it. This is a wrap front dress that has neck bands. I had a McCall's dress that I absolutely loved down. I made a orange dress out of it, and I still have the pattern, but this one is just giving, like it's giving, and I'm so excited to make it. I hope it is giving all the vibes like these ladies here are giving. So this is gonna be fun to make. So those are the 2 main plans and garments. We have been experiencing snow every week. I mean, like just a day ago we got like 12 inches. I'm not really bothered by the snow. I'm bothered by the cold. So now we're dealing with this cold, I don't know, just bursts of air. And I want to make this. I actually have been wanting to make this. This is Nomi 2130 by Alyssa Threads. And this is that turtleneck that I picked up a while ago. And so I would make the view that she is wearing right here. I love this neckline right here, super nice. And I not too long ago purchased fabric. Oh, I forgot the name of the company, but I had a fabric haul that I did, and I purchased some fabric, and there was like a knit cable knit that was like see-through. That, by the way, I did return that fabric. I'll link it down below if you don't know what I'm talking about, so you can watch the whole haul and you can see how disappointed I was about that fabric. But I did return it and got my money back. But anyway, that fabric is some sweatshirt fabric. It's just a white sweatshirt fabric. I mean, it's cream. It basically looks just like this. I forgot to pull it down before I started recording, so I don't really want to because it's all the way at the top and I don't want things tumbling down. But that is the other thing, and I think I might make that first because that's going to be such an easy sew. Now, I know that seems like a lot, but honestly, like those pants, and I mean, they don't have pockets. All I'm putting in are those darts that'll go really, really quickly. And that sweatshirt will go really quickly. I can make that in a day. This dress would be the thing that takes the longest. So outside of that, those are pretty much my plans. I do have some other I have some other things that I have been working on already, and I picked up some Valentine's Day fabric right here. I'm making some Valentine's Day gifts, and so this is some fabric here. I don't know where the other cut of fabric, oh, here it is, it fell down. This fabric right here. So I picked up these from Hobby Lobby, and then so these are like little hearts with the white background, so pink and red hearts with the white background. And then this is red background with larger pink hearts. And then these hearts right here. I like them. So I'm just making some Valentine gifts for family and some co-workers that I think will appreciate. So that's the actual sewing that I plan to do this month. Now, sewing related but not actually sewing, another plan I have is to destash my patterns. I have so many sewing patterns that are for children that I didn't get to sew up because honestly I was delusional when I was buying them. I had my last two children 1 year apart, and that gave me absolutely no time to sew with them growing so fast. And honestly, I didn't really want to make some of the things because they were growing so fast. I felt like it was just a waste. So yeah, I didn't get to do anything with those patterns that I just kept buying and buying and buying and buying like a crazy woman. And I feel like I have millions, so I just need to get rid of them, and because they can't even fit them. And I also need to get rid of the ones that I no longer want because I have maybe like changed up my style, or because of the size, because I have no intention on going back to what I was. I know sometimes it happens, but I am doing all that I can to not go back in a higher weight because it was just bad for my health. It took a toll on my health, like in ways that I have never shared. So just trust me when I say I have to not, do that. So but yeah, but I'm gonna start doing that destashing this month, but it honestly is going to be like a year-round project. I may update you on this project as I make big dents if I feel it may benefit you, meaning like maybe I'll just put them on a Etsy shop for like $1 in bundles, and maybe you may want to buy them, or you might know someone else that wants them, or something like that. So we'll just we'll see how that goes as it happens. All right. So now let's talk about the new creative space that has entered my life, okay? Which is crochet. So first, and I won't stay on this very long because I know you're not here for the crochet, but just listen because I'm more than sewing, okay? So this has been such a gift to me lately because I wasn't sewing like I normally do. And also because I just needed something productive to do during my downtime that was in the creative realm. Like I feel like I'm not like I just don't like sitting there, and especially like I said, since I wasn't sewing due to my weight loss goals, I felt like I really could not sew for myself. But I chose crocheting because it was lower stress, portable, easy to pick up and put down, and inexpensive. It's so inexpensive to start crocheting, especially for what I do. And it's not like with fabric, when you cut out a pattern and you start sewing it up. With crochet, like you start crocheting, if you mess it up, all you have to do is unravel it. It's not in a pattern, you're creating the fabric, you're creating the pattern. So it's very cheap. You can start off by getting yarn at the dollar store. But anyway, but it just fit in perfectly into my life, and it still is a great gift because I can do this while my children are at basketball practices, piano practices, while I'm just out in the lobby waiting. They have a children's Bible study at the church that is just for the children, and it's like an hour and a half one night a week. and I could be out in the lobby if I'm not running around, you know, running errands or whatever. I can be out in the lobby doing that. I can do that while they're playing outside, and I can just sit nearby, crochet, and monitor them, because I don't let them go out without me monitoring them, or either my husband. So yeah, in small pockets of time where sewing just wouldn't work because I can't take the sewing machine with me, like to the church, or you know, things like that. And also, you know, I've been taking it to work with me. I honestly take that crocheting bag everywhere, because I just don't know when I have time, or you know, if it will be like an opportunity to just do something. And I just find it to be very therapeutic, just like sewing. And I have been taking on smaller projects to feel rewarded, but I can definitely see myself expanding that. I do want to make a light shrug or cardigan before the year is out. So let me share with you what I crocheted over the holidays. And so I'll put them in the picture as I named them. I made 2 blankets. I made a white one for my mother for Christmas, and she was just loving it. Like, I've made things for my mom, but I feel like this is just like more special. And I have actually learned how to read crochet patterns, and so there's this lady named MJ Off the Hook, and she posted this, and she also had a tutorial, so I really didn't have to buy the pattern. But I don't like watching tutorials as I'm making something. I like to watch them beforehand and then make it. And so you know, not only that, like, I like to support creatives. So she made the pattern. Yeah, she made the tutorial, but like the pattern was like $4 or $6, so I just purchased the pattern. But anyway, so I made that for her. I made my husband one that fits a queen size bed. His is black, but I don't feel like the picture is appropriate enough to post unless I can figure out a way to do it. So those were the blankets that I made. I made, let me see, a scarf. I thought put it over here. So I made this scarf for my son. He saw me working on a scarf for a snowman, and he wanted one. So I made a skinny scarf. I thought this was pretty neat. Just a skinny scarf with fringes. One of his favorite colors is green. So this is what I made him. It's kind of long. I overestimated how long it needed to be, but yeah, this is the skinny scarf right here. You see this, and I just used Karen, I don't know the name of these yarns yet. I'm not gonna get into that either anyway, because you're not here for that. But yeah, I made that scarf, and then I think I shared this with you on a pattern haul, but I made these crochet pumpkins. This is like a ombre purple, which is why you see like this dark spot in here, and then I crocheted in this brown for the stem. But yeah, and honestly, these crochet pumpkins, I made this before December, but these crochet pumpkins is how I learned how to crochet, believe it or not, because I was sewing squares and then I just shaped this into the pumpkin. So yeah, and I made millions. There are tons of these crochet pumpkins around. I put them in a bag to put in a tote to put in the garage for storage to see if I'll put them out in the fall, but I don't think so, because most of them are pretty ugly. But I got it right at this pumpkin. And so anyway, I did work that up. I also made where's that other one? Here's a better example to show you. Oh, so I made these fringe coasters. These are cotton coasters that you would put your mugs on, and they have the little fringes at the end. And then I made them in that purple again. Yeah, and then I made a crochet snowman, and I have to put that in the screen because it's too big. It's about 3 feet tall. But yeah, absolutely loved that project. It's not stuffed perfectly because I use the batting versus polyfill, because I didn't have any polyfill and I was just so anxious to see how it was going to be worked up. But yes, I made that that snowman. I keep saying pumpkin. I made that snowman, and I made the scarf that's on it. I crocheted the noses on it and the hat. So I was proud of that project, and it took me a long time to finish that, but it got done. So yeah, those are the projects that I worked up, and I hope you like that. So for this month, the only thing that I want to crochet is this Sophie inspired scarf. So with knits, you know, the things that look like chopsticks, there's this Sophie scarf pattern that everybody apparently went crazy over. It went kind of like viral in the knitting world, and the crochet people decided to like copy it for crochet, and so that went viral too. So I watched a tutorial. Like I said, I don't like watching tutorials as I work on things, so I watched it and I just wrote down what the steps were, and then I kind of tweaked it a little bit too. So I'll put what it looks like in the screen if I haven't already, and that's what I want to make. Just something small. I can do that while they're at basketball. They ended one basketball season. They're getting ready to start up another basketball season. Still got piano lessons and the Bible studies and all the things. So I will have plenty of time to get this stuff done. And then oh, I forgot to tell you, I made the ear beanies, the cat ear beanies. Yeah, those were a hit, especially with my nephew's, you know, at his basketball game. I made one in his school colors. I made one in my old high school colors, and so yeah, that was a hit. And so I actually have orders for those already. And so I'm going to be making several of those, but those are something like most of the time during the week when I get home and done running the boys around, things like that, I just want to sit down on the bed after I get my shower and things like that. I can't even come in here. So the sewing I do is generally on the weekend when I've been able to rest and could get, you know, power through. So yeah, I can make those beanies when I'm just chilling at the bed. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be making. And although this is a new hobby for me, this hobby is mostly like my on-the-go creative outlet, and you know, my chill, you know, when I'm, like I said, laying in the bed. And so that's what's going on with that. But I'm really embracing the idea of, you know, that creativity can change with the season of life that you're in, and I'm enjoying it. And that weight loss push and me actually accomplishing that goal is what pushed me to finally learn how to crochet. When I have been buying those Wooble kits for the last 2 years. I bought about 4 or 5 of them when Joann's went out of business, and now I feel like I'm too advanced for them because they're slow. But I did make one. I finally made one. Let me share it with you real quick. I made this chick. Look at her. I even bought the safety eyes and installed them. I crocheted the nose. It's supposed to have wings, but I mean, to me, I feel like this looks like a chick, and I didn't want to do it. So anyway, but yes, so I have those Wooble kits, and I'm still gonna go ahead and finish them all, because I found that you can also download the pattern, so I don't have to watch the step-by-step instructions. So anyway, if you're in a similar season, I hope this video encouraged you to give yourself grace and find creativity, joy where you are right now, and where it's fitting. And so yeah, I think that's all that I have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. So let me know what you are planning on making this month with your sewing, and if you already have started on your projects. If you have, what have you made? Also let me know, do you crochet as well? Is that something that we have in common, or do you do other things? I know I do other things as well, but these two are like right now on the top. And yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and have a wonderful day. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.